We quickly touched on the selection tool in the previous tutorial on the shape tool. Now we are going to look at it in a little more detail, as it is a basic tool you will use constantly. As the name suggests, you use the selection tool to select any object on the artboard. I'm just going to go ahead and select it here. It's the little black arrow at the top of the tool panel. I can also just press V on my keyboard to select it. When I have the selection tool selected, my mouse cursor turns into a little black arrow. To select an object, you just need to click on it. Now bear in mind that if your object has a solid fill, you can click anywhere on the object to select it, but if it has no fill, then you must click on the path line to select it. You can also click and drag a box over a shape to select it. You don't have to drag the box over the entire shape, just part of it. You can use this method to quickly select multiple objects on the artboard. There will be some instances where this method is not accurate enough. For example, when the objects you want to select are in different areas of the artboard with non-required objects in between. In this instance, you can hold down the Shift key as you click to select multiple objects. Once you have an object selected, a bounding box will appear around it with control nodes allowing you to resize, reshape or rotate that object. To rotate the object, hover over the outer corner until your cursor changes to a curved line with two arrowheads, and then drag to rotate. Hold down the Shift key as you rotate to constrain to 45-degree increments. To resize a shape, just drag any one of the control nodes. Holding down the Shift key as you drag will constrain the proportions, and holding down the Alt or Option key will resize from the centre. Remember, you can also use the Shift and the Alt key together. I can also use the selection tool to move objects around the artboard. With the object selected, just click and drag the shape to where you would like it. Remember that for filled objects you can click anywhere in the shape to drag, but with objects without a fill you have to click and drag on the path. I can also use the arrow keys on my keyboard to move a selected object. This is useful when you want to carefully nudge an object into position. Now let's look at copying and deleting objects. You will find all the controls to copy and delete under the Edit menu. If you want to delete an object, you can go to Edit and Clear, or you can just hit the Delete key on your keyboard. To copy an object, you either go to Edit and Copy, or the quicker way is to use the Ctrl+C keyboard shortcut or Command+C if you are on a Mac. When it comes to pasting objects, there are a number of different options. Paste makes a copy in the middle of the artboard. Paste in front makes a copy directly over the original. Paste in back makes a copy directly underneath the original. Paste in place allows you to make a copy in the exact same place as the original but on a different layer. We'll get into layers in a later tutorial. Paste on all artboards makes a copy in the exact same place on all the artboards in your document. All of these paste actions have a keyboard shortcut which you can see to the right hand side. Now there is an even easier way to make a quick copy. If you select an object and then hold down the Alt or Option key on a Mac as you drag, it will make a copy. If you hold down the Shift key as well as the Alt or Option key, you will make a copy that is constrained in a straight line or a 45-degree line to the original. Another nifty keyboard shortcut trick is to use Ctrl+D or Command+D after you've dragged a new copy. This will duplicate the action, giving you a line of newly copied objects. This is useful when creating buttons along a placket, for example. The final method of selecting and copying we will look at is the Transform Each function. This allows you to input exact values for the move and scale at the same time as making a copy. Select the object, then click Shift plus Ctrl plus Alt plus D. The Transform dialog box appears. I'm going to set the scale to 70% for both the horizontal and the vertical, and a vertical move of 40 pixels. I then press the copy button. Now if I do Ctrl+D or Command+D, I am duplicating not only the copy, but also the scale and move. As you can see, you will rely on the selection tool a lot to move and adjust objects, and you will often have to use it to select objects before you can use other tools. Therefore, the final feature we will look at is a really useful time saver. If you have another tool selected, let's say the Type tool, if you press the Control or Command key at any point, this temporarily switches you to the Selection tool. This saves having to keep going back to the tool panel, and you will find it a great time saver as we delve deeper into using the other tools.